the wild winds call. Jasper's walking, taking pictures of it all. Boots on the ground, heart in the sky, following the blazes, just a rambling guy. Through the valleys, over the hills, chasing that freedom, feeling the thrill. With every sunrise, he's finding his way, living the dream, one step a day. Trail named Jasper, walking on through, Bruce trail bound with a camera view, hiking the ridges, chasing the light. Like and subscribe.
Good morning and welcome. Got my banana. Welcome to day 6. Here we are in Shap. Heavy rain, high winds. Right now, I'm sat in the hiker hut. You may see some tents over here. My tent's over here. And there's actually more through there, but don't think you can see them from here. Heavy rains, high winds, just as expected overnight. Severe storm. Weatherman says in about an hour or so, the sun's going to be shining. I'm up. In the next room, there's an electric kettle, which I've got plugged in, boiling my water for breakfast. I am going to try apple blueberry oatmeal. Yeah, the apple blueberry oatmeal. In fact, I don't know if I can one-handedly, but if I can dig it out. Oh, there it is. Tell you what, stand by. I'm going to show it to you. Stand by. Okay, here it is. Apple blueberry oatmeal. I'm just going to put that in my Tupperware and put my hot water on it, boiling water. But apple blueberry, come on now. We've got, regular in Canada. We have apple. Peach, good one. Maple brown sugar, sure. But apple blueberry, come on, Canada. We need to get it together here. Apple blueberry. I'm gonna have my breakfast, my apple blueberry oatmeal, my banana, my coffee, and then when the rain backs off, we'll pack up. We're going to hit the road and see how far we get today. We'll talk to you soon. If there's water on the lens, I apologize. It's just the rain has been so heavy. Although it is backing off now. So, apple blueberry. Well, it has a creamy taste. It's not a strong taste. Definitely apple, definitely blueberry. But unlike ours, I think it has maybe a milk content, a powdered milk content, because it definitely has a creamier taste than ours does. Yeah, it's good. It's good. Oh, of course. My coffee. Oh, my Starbucks. Yeah. Apple strawberry and banana. Not apple strawberry. Apple blueberry and banana. Yeah. I have no idea how far we're going to get today. Oh God, I just woke up not long ago. But we're going to head east towards Robin Hood's Bay. I have no idea. This weather sucks. Although it is supposed to get sunny today, but it's rain all week. Again. Well, yesterday was rather pleasant. the front of the lodge, if you will, the tenting and camping areas just behind. And there is a sign here, so we're going to figure out for sure what they call this place, because it's New something or other. Here we go. It's New Ing Lodge, Shap, Cumbria, bed and breakfast, camping, exclusive use. Okay, New Ing Lodge. Okay, okay. Main Street of Shap this morning. Woo. And a little later than normal, but just the rain. The wind is still blowing, but it has subsided significantly, but it's still considered a strong wind. Brightening up nicely. It's supposed to be sun all day, so in all truthfulness, there's no reason we cannot log miles. Okay, good morning everybody, welcome to day 6, as I said. Now I do have options today. Originally I thought, well, last night I thought, okay, if the weather's really bad today, at 9.5 miles in, there is, according to the Far Out app, a commercial tenting camping area. At 13.5 miles in, there is also another commercial camping barn, like where we just stayed last night, that kind of thing. And then at about 19 or 20 miles in, we arrive in what do they call the place now? Kirby Stephens. Kirby Stephens. I did contact the hostel there. The lady said she did have a space available for me this evening. It's 42 English pounds to stay there, so that's expensive. I think so. 42 pounds is basically 80 bucks Canadian. That's a lot for a hostel. $80, but again, it depends on the weather and so on. And of course, there's our normal wild camping. But we are entering into the Yorkshire Dales, or we will be once we pass the M6, which is about 2.5 miles away, I believe. So we'll pass there shortly. But okay, just wanted to welcome everyone to the day. And there's the grocery store, Lakes and Dales Cooperative. That's our grocery store we used yesterday. Okay. So something I didn't do yet, I was hoping, it went out of my mind, to just trim the foam off the one side of this wind muff, just to help stop it from blocking the lens a little bit, or being in part of the view of the lens. Anyhow, I will get to it, hopefully tonight maybe. So what I wanted to give you was an update on the hip situation. So we're just about we're about 4 days away from 4 months post-op. Left hip total replacement, so be it. And in my training, it's primarily been day hikes. I did get one 2-day, 1-night wild camp hike in, but a lot of day hikes. Full pack, 40-pound pack, this kind of thing. But again, you go home to a hot shower and your bed, and you know, the next day you're doing something different. So when I set the goals, or the plans, or let's say the thoughts for this particular hike, or this time in the UK, May the 28th to June the 26th. And as you know, we picked the coast to coast, which is day 6 now of the coast to coast, we're there. Then we picked the West Island Way and the Great Glen Way. To do that, to do those in that time period, I'd need a minimum of 25 kilometers a day.
and no rest days, no zeros. But there would be a travelling day once I get to Robin Hood Bay to travel up to Glasgow. I had to pick up the West Island Way, and then a travel day from Inverness, where I'd finished the Great Glen Way, back down to Glasgow for my return flight to Toronto, and so on. But what I'm thinking is, I don't know if my hip would allow me to be able to maintain, if you will, or generate, or sustain an average, or achieve is the word, an average of 25 kilometers a day. Yesterday was a shorter day, 8.5 miles, so about 14 kilometers. It was a resupply day, and that's fine, you'll have those. But then you need other days that you're going to be doing above the 25 kilometers a day to eventually achieve the average of 25 kilometers a day. And I'm thinking, because I know how my left hip and also my right hip, because I know my right hip is going to need replacement. I wasn't sure when, but it's hurting as much as, if not more so, than my left hip now. So what I'm thinking is shorter days. I like getting up early and starting the trail. It's beautiful to do that. But shorter days, and just take a little bit longer to do the coast to coast, then head up to Scotland, to Glasgow, and yes, do the West Island Way. So I do believe I will be able to achieve, at the very least, those two trails. And that would be wonderful. That would be 2 successful through hikes on this particular trip, and I would be delighted with that. But I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to also do the Great Glen Way, which is fine, but I would like to. So I just wanted to give you that update. That's all based on my physical condition. And I also feel other factors involved, such as, I'm not sure why, I realize I had the hip replacement, I get it. But just to try to achieve, you know, a certain amount of kilometers in a day. I used to think nothing of doing 35 kilometers a day. That wasn't that long ago. But, you know, almost 68 now, so I think my age is slowing me down some too. Anyhow, that's my whining this morning. It says Kirby Stephens, 18 miles from here. All right, we'll believe you. I see the M6 and the M6 bridge ahead of us. Oh, how wonderful is that? I've seen that on many videos, but to be here, it's wonderful. Goodbye Lake District. You can just see the foothills of the mountains to come for the people heading westbound on this trail. Okay, but we're heading eastbound. The mountains are behind us now, and we're entering the rolling hills of the Yorkshire Dales. However, I know we are still in Cumbria. I'm not sure if there's a sign that tells us when we get to Yorkshire. We'll see. Let's go. Crossing the M6 north up to Scotland and south. Well, I've drove this highway several times, again as a photographer, traveling from Manchester Airport up to the Lake District. Well, quite iconic. It's a measurable location on the coast to coast, insofar as I mentioned, you leave the Lake District behind, again for the rolling hills of the Yorkshire Dales. I think technically right now we're in a transition between the two national parks. Again, the park of the Lake District and the park of the Yorkshire Dales. I believe there is a transition area between the two, and I think that's exactly where we are right now. Well, lots of signage this morning, all part of the new things to come as far as marking the coast-to-coast trail. And we got one of those gate locks, but we are in. I'm told on the other side of that bridge, just where we came from, there's nice flood areas to the left of the bridge. I'm told through hikers do wild camp right there. Local told me that just yesterday. Okay, let's keep going. Well, this sounds like a barrel of fun. Danger, keep out, quarry, deep water, cold water can kill, cliff edges, quicksand. Not exactly Butlins, is it? Okay, okay. Got some more information coming up here. Well, coast to coast trail, so we know we're there. Shapfell Quarry. Oh, part of UK steelmaking history. Okay. Okay. I think we go up these steps. Limestone rock. Very, very, very typical of the Yorkshire Dales. Oh yeah. A few years ago, well, pre-COVID, I was on one of my photography expeditions here in the UK. I'd flown into Manchester. The day I arrived, obviously I disembarked the airplane, got my car rental and headed north. First stop was in the Yorkshire Dales and Malham, and I hiked to two locations, the Malham Tarn and the Malham Lone Tree, to capture images. The Malham Lone Tree is an iconic, famous kind of must capture this image if you're in that area kind of place, and it's a single tree growing out of the limestone, field of limestone. Again, the day I was there, the winds were absolutely horrendous. Anyhow, so I'd mention that. Limestone rock, very typical of Yorkshire Dales. I have no idea if I'm in Yorkshire yet. I did see somewhere where somebody had mentioned once you cross the M6 you're in Yorkshire, but I don't know if that's correct. I'll find out when I do come to a community. I will ask. I'll say, hey, are we in Yorkshire? Okay, it's official. Yorkshire Dales National Park. Oh yeah, we're in the Yorkshire Dales National Park. We're in the Yorkshire Dales, laddie. Okay, okay, just as we expected. Wide open, exposed rolling hills. Oh yeah. Yeah. Now, pre-COVID, on one of my photography adventures, if you will, in the Yorkshire Dales, we did summit, I think it's called Whernside Fell, which is, ooh, it's boggy through here. Whoop, whoop. Yeah, boggy. Anyhow, Whernside Fell is the Yorkshire Dales' highest fell. I can't tell you the elevation at the top, and it rises above Ribblehead Viaduct, and I wanted to photograph Ribblehead Viaduct from above. Of course, I had my drone, which I used, but I also wanted to climb high and then bring Ribblehead Viaduct close to me, which I did with my 150 to 500 mil Sigma telephoto zoom lens. And I think then I was using a Canon 7D too, same camera I used today. Not the actual same camera, but the same model, a Canon 7D. Yeah. Oh well, as I tell you that, not really sure why. Much, much, much easier underfoot. Oh yeah, much, much, much easier underfoot. I'm delighted about that. And I think my hip is delighted about that too. So far anyhow. Okay. Ahead of us, hopping around on the floor. It's a beautiful little bird. One of God's creations. And he has a broken wing. And he's doomed. There's nothing he can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. It's just such a sad, sad, sad thing. But right now he's in terrible panic. He's just going down the trail ahead of me. He sees me. He knows I'm here. I guess he just thinks I'm chasing him. I'm not, of course. Oh. I have not. Oh, he's going down by the side of the fence. Going down by the side of the fence. If I could catch him, then I could put him out of his misery. He won't let me anywhere near him because he's doomed. He can't fly. He's just gonna die over whatever period of time it takes for it to happen. So sad. So very, very sad. Typical Yorkshire Dale trail. The sky, well, it is raining, by the way. It's been on and off raining. It just started again a few minutes ago. 10.7 miles from my present position to Kirby Stephens. It's 11:22 in the morning. Not quite noon. The map is showing me, oh, just up the trail a ways, it shows me the picture of a coffee cup. Yeah, well, it could be a teacup, but I'm calling it a coffee cup. I haven't pressed on the app button to see what it's described as, because again, it's been on and off raining, and I really try to keep my phone as dry as possible. Just a little update on how day 6 is going. We've just been pushing today. Just pushing. We're almost all but halfway to Kirby Stephens. So I'm hoping I will make it there by the end of the day. Of course, you slow down, the more miles you've done, the slower you're gonna go. But so far the trail's been great. Rolling hills, but underfoot, beautiful. Boggy and muddy in places. Just got to work through that. But so far my feet are relatively dry today. Yeah. Whew. Take a look behind me. Wow. Oh. Okay. I wanted to give you that little update. I've really just had my head down and pushing, and I say the wind is strong, rain's on and off. Well, there's a little peep of sun here and there, but not for a while now. Actually, I just remember the teacup symbol. I did look at that last night. That used to be a place. It was like a big kind of hut, and with tables and chairs, you could sit there and have a cup of coffee and a snack of some kind. But apparently at some point the wind, I think a storm, blew it down, and I think there's tables and chairs there to sit at, but no service for anything. They haven't rebuilt it yet. Now, the last I heard on another hiker's video was they'd started to rebuild it, but I don't believe at all it's finished and open now. So I think there goes the opportunity for a coffee there. So here is what was and will be again, I'm sure, the little snack bar place. Now they have camping here, also tenting, but yeah, so they got picnic tables, but still a ways to go yet before this will be open. Probably not this season. Anyhow, the rain is coming down, and it promises to be quite hard. Okay, let's just keep going. So that sheep, the one right there, he just marches right over here. Marches right over here like he owns the place. Wants some of my bacon sandwich. I told him, I said, dude, I am not your farmer. Besides, you eat grass. There's all kinds of grass here. Taking a break. It's 1:30. I have about 6.5 miles to Kirby Stephens, and I'm running out of steam. So I made a bacon bagel, which I'm gonna have, and some peach water, which I packed out a shop. Right now, nicest part of the day so far. The wind, I'm behind a wall. The wind backed off. There's some kind of blue sky, but it's been raining. Well, still, it's been raining crazy. Yeah. We're in the Yorkshire Dales, did I tell you that? Jasper's home. Yeah, he is. Right here. I'm gonna have my lunch. Sheep keeps looking over here. I'm not your farmer. My God. Thinks he owns the place. Break time's over. Checked my spot. Didn't leave any garbage, didn't leave any valuables. Got my phone, got my camera because I'm talking to it. So as I was having my lunch, I had a bacon sandwich, as I told you, and I also had what they call a flapjack. It's like a baked oatmeal. It's sweet. I had one a few days ago. I think it was Ennerdale Bridge. I had one somewhere like that, and I found it gave me a lot of energy. So I had that too. I think it's about 6.5 miles to Kirby Stephens. As I was sat there, an English hiker came by, so we chatted for a little while. I have no idea what day he's on or anything else, but he's doing the coast to coast. And he's also staying at the hostel tonight. So anyhow, just a bit of an update. And so yeah, let's just get to it. Just take a look down there. The river, the bridge. Oh my goodness. How pretty is that? Whew. How pretty. The trail ahead of me, yet one more gate to go through, which is probably, I haven't counted, I'm gonna say gate number 10,000 today. I don't know, felt like it. Though this has been pretty much another crazy day of weather, rain and wind. The railroad track ahead of us. I believe we're going to go right underneath it. I believe through this little tunnel. We're about, around 1.5 miles, I think. Maybe a 1.5 miles or something to Kirby Stephens. So today it's actually been one solid day and my longest yet. Now I knew, and we talked about it before, once we got out of the Lake District, the terrain, both in elevation gain and underfoot, will become much more usable, much more workable, much more hiker friendly, which indeed today is the case. So as we push tomorrow through, deeper into and through the Yorkshire Dales, we'll have a look at the map and see what's out there. Water sources and camp spots and so on. Things like the pubs that have tenting spaces, hiker barns, bunk barns, this kind of thing. Oh, we have to climb over a fence here. Oh boy. Well, okay. We can do this. It has been a long day, but we can do this. And windy. Okay. And we have a fence to go through. We can do this. And we're going to make a jog to the right according to this little map thing once we get over here. Yeah. Okay. And I can see the trail. One thing I'm finding, I'm having to check the app every 15 minutes or so to make sure I'm on trail. There's so many turns and junctions and splits and cross trails, and there is no signage whatsoever for any of these. And twice today I've been off trail. The second time not so bad, but the first time probably a total often getting back on about 1.5 miles. So we can add that to our day. We'd actually probably be damn close to Kirby Stephens by now if we hadn't have done that. Anyhow, I know somewhere down here we go to a working farm, and then I believe it's a relatively easy shot from there into town. As I say, we've got a hostel booked for tonight, ridiculously expensive at 42 English pounds. Now, I'm hoping This is going to be a nice hostel for that kind of money, with a nice full breakfast and the whole bit, but honestly don't know. And then later tonight, of course, hopefully, if I remember, we'll do our map for the day. We're looking at about 30 kilometers or so today, so this will be the biggest day so far on this particular trail, and the first 30 kilometer I've done since long before my hip was replaced. Okay, let's keep moving. Entering Kirby Stephens, and I am famished. Absolutely famished. And if I see one of those pie shops before I get to the hostel, I'm gonna grab me a pie. Only one today. Busy road. Busy little town, I'm told. A few things I want to get. I need some bread item, like maybe bagel or buns, maybe 4 bagels or 4 buns, a large bag of potato chips, and a bag of cookies is really all I want as far as any kind of supplies. We did a bigger resupply yesterday, and we do have communities to go through before our next major resupply, which will be in Richmond. That being, I don't know, 2 or 3 days. I gotta check the map and see how far it is. Maybe 3 days. We'll see. Okay. Okay. Hi, happy campers. Well, I hope there's enough light, because I am in a hostel this evening. But anyhow, I hope there's enough light. Here's where we started this morning. Shop. We walked all the way through town, and off we went on trail. Crossed the M6, said officially a goodbye to the Lake District, and hello to the Yorkshire Dales. All the way. All the way. Run out of map. Map E, right here. All the way. Wind, rain, and sun. And wind and rain and sun. All day long till we reached Kirby Stephens. We are about here in the Kirby Stephens hostel for a total of 19.5 miles today. So yeah, 19.5 miles. Less to do, and that's okay. My bunk, actually, I was using an empty bunk. This is mine down here. It's a mess. I can show you a little bit around because there's nobody else in here. There's 8 bunks in this particular dorm. Bathroom, nobody's in here. 1 shower stall, 2 bathroom stalls, and sinks. Yeah. So this is going to be my bunk for the night. I'm going to set my wake up for about 5-ish in the morning. And we're just going to head east. See how far we get. Tomorrow we have the option of doing a low route or a high route, and I think we'll be doing the low route through the valley. I think all the way along the River Swale. I'm looking forward to doing the River Swale. Okay. See you in the morning.